Welcome. I wanted to share a video about some recent Pokemon purchases I made and explain both like why I made these, what's the rationale, and how I got some good deals, if that was the case. I should start by saying none of these are sort of high-end purchases, nothing vintage, nothing major, nothing Jake worthy. These are just modern cards that I happen to like, but want to explain why I like them, and in particular say, I don't think these are necessarily good future investments. I'm not considering these cards investments. There's a chance they'll go up in the future, but I just got them because I really like them, or I saw in some sense, in my opinion, that they're currently undervalued. As you can see, there's some packs in the background too. I have these extra lying around, so maybe we can open them at the end. Also modern, not a great set, but it could still be fun. So anyway, this was the all these already are double sleeve, by the way. I always do an inner sleeve KMC Hypermat, KMC Superfit, and on the outside just regular Ultra Pro penny sleeve. So I'll take them out of the outer sleeve so you can see the shine better. But in Hidden Fates, there had this Legendary Bird Trio. As you saw in my binder from the last video, I already have the full art stained glass version that came with the Elite Trainer box. This is the one that came in packs, not in the subset, but the main Hidden Fate set. This was like less than $4, which I just thought was unbelievably good deal for a card that I think looks so cool. Normally I love full arts and I love the full art version of this, but this non-full art version I think is also pretty nice. And then, surprisingly, I could get for almost the same price. It was like $4.50, also the full art version. I don't love this one as much as a non-full art, just because, again, the plain background from the GX era and just the positions of the birds isn't as cool in my opinion. But I was shocked that I could get this card for under $5. And now you can probably guess what's coming next. The Rainbow Rare version I got for $7, which I thought, again, unbelievably inexpensive for Rainbow Rare of a desirable Pokemon, in this case 3 altogether. I still don't love the Rainbow Rares. I still even think in this case the full art looks cooler, but just felt like such a good deal at this point in time. I think what's happening, my guess is that the subset within Hidden Fates that contains the Shiny Vault, that contains all the shiny Pokemon, is the most desirable, and it's sort of driving down the prices of other cards in the main set, like this Ultra Rare, which again I love all 3 of these so much. So how did I get these deals? On eBay, it would have been a lot more expensive. I got all these on tcgplayer.com, where you can sort of sort by. I always buy the cards in your mint, and then just see who's the cheapest, and then you try to futz around with it. I spent, honestly, hours on it, futzing around with getting the best combined shipping deals from different sellers. I'll talk more about that later on in the video about TCG Player versus eBay, but I'll just give an example. There was somebody who was selling a lot of 10 of these. I was like, this is sort of random, but kind of cool, right, to buy 10 of these at once. I'll just see if nobody happens to notice it. The lot ended up going for over $150, if I remember correctly, which means more than $15 per piece of one of these. And you're buying 10 at once, which nobody needs, right? Presumably they're reselling it, which is so they're worth even less after the margin. I was like, why spend so much when you get them on TCG Player for literally half as much? So that's the case with a lot of these cards. They're a lot cheaper than on eBay. But as we'll see later on in the video, in some cases that's the total opposite. So next was wanting to get some full arts I'd been interested in for a long time. Reshiram is one of my favorite Pokemon. This full art version from Dragon Majesty I thought was really cool. I got this one also for something like less than $10, probably around $5 on TCG Player. And then speaking of Reshiram, I love the tag team Pokemon. So this card, I thought I'd explain sort of why I was so interested in it. I love tag team Pokemon. I love full arts and Charizard, right? So I want to have one of every Charizard full art, any version of Charizard that came in full art. I think those cards right now, honestly, I think are probably undervalued. Even the full art Charizard GX that came in one of those, boxes you get at Walmart and Target, is still probably undervalued. Just looking at the Charizard EX full art from Flashfire that sort of spiked in value recently. I mentioned that in the previous video. I think the same thing is going to happen to these eventually, right? Not sure when. But again, I'm not doing this to invest in. I'm doing it because I love the art of this Charizard and Reshiram, two of my favorite Pokemon in one picture. For whatever reason, I was able to get this card on eBay for like $15 in an auction that nobody noticed. I think it was like $14. Some of these have been selling for over $30. I don't get, any rhyme or reason to any of this. Like I've seen eBay auctions that go for close to 15. I've seen them go for close to 30. First I thought it was because of the condition, but this one is basically flawless to me, like theoretically gradable. So I think honestly people just miss auctions at bad times of day or bad times of the week and go unnoticed and get them from cheap. Others spend way too much, and I can't believe, someone bought this for $30 almost right after I got this one. So, speaking of full art Charizards, you can see I'm trying to link these together in logical order. Here is the full art Charizard and Breaks in GX. I have the non-full art version of this from the battle deck that I got just to play with for fun. But I love this full art too, just the pose of Breaks in sitting on top of Charizard. And again, just think this is so undervalued right now. This one was a little bit more expensive. I got it for about $22, $23 on TCGplayer.com. eBay, it was going for even more. Something disappointing that happened. I'll take it out carefully, the inner sleeve, so you can see. It got a nick on the top that was in transit. So I'm not sure if you can see right here, but yeah, it's not coming out well in video, but this top corner got dinged pretty badly. Like, I don't think this would even be worth grading because of that. Or at least, probably wouldn't get above an 8. Best case. And it looked like it happened in transit, right? Whoever packaged it put it in a sleeve and then inside a top loader, but didn't tape the top of the top loader. So just packaging tip, always remember to tape the top of the top loader, or else the card can bang around and slide out. In this case, it slid out of the top loader. It was just rubbing up against the envelope and was probably being banged around, in a mail truck for who knows how many days. Thankfully, that was the only damage it sustained, and still looks, nice enough for me, nice enough for my binder. So this card was from Cosmic Eclipse. If I'm correct, I think that's the last set in the Sun and Moon era. And that set honestly just passed me by. Like, I was not keeping up with modern cards just for a period of a few months. Didn't realize how amazing Cosmic Eclipse is as a set. I love it. And you'll see basically, I think all the rest of the cards I got were from Cosmic Eclipse. So you might ask, right, if I got so many cards from Cosmic Eclipse, why not just buy, booster packs or even a booster box? First of all, booster boxes have already gone up in value. They're already sort of twice as much as what they were retailing for when the set was in print. But second of all, right, these cards are just, I'll hold up the next one, extremely rare, in terms of the frequency of getting them, right? All the cards I like are ultra rares, if not, full arts or secret rares. And so even from a whole booster box, you might best case get 2, 3 full arts and ultra and full arts and secret rares. And so I thought, if that's the case, right, it's obviously not worth spending that. Might as well just buy the singles. I think, goes to a larger point that I think I was making in a previous video, that just the desirable cards, the interesting, cool cards are just so infrequently appearing. It kind of, makes the whole experience of opening packs less fun because everything else is basically junk, right? You get a million of every common, uncommon, definitely rare, even hollow rare, before you get all the full arts and secret rares that you want. That, to me, it just, opening packs, even investing in sealed booster boxes, a more modern product, just seems a lot less exciting, a lot less appealing, versus just buying the individual cards I want. Even though it's less fun, there's less of a hunt, because it's just so unlikely to get the ones you want. So much of the value, in terms of, when I say value, I mean the cards that I like, is concentrated in these higher tiers of rarity. That obviously wasn't the case back when Pokemon was in its infancy with WotC cards. That honestly I just don't like as a collector. I can understand someone commented in previous videos, an investor, it makes sense, right? It makes these cards more desirable, more collectible. But just as someone who sort of enjoys them and wants to get the cards that I like for their art, it's really frustrating. So why this Vileplume GX, right? Vileplume is not like an amazing Pokemon in my opinion. I love pictures of Pokemon with trainers in them. I love pictures of Pokemon with multiple Pokemon in the frame, right? So the whole tag team era was like really, really cool to me, and I want to get more of those. But this set, Cosmic Eclipse, had a number of Pokemon with their trainer. So I didn't get all of them, you'll see, but I got the ones that I like the most. So this is just the full art Vileplume GX that has Erica in it. And you'll notice, right, it doesn't say like Erica's Vileplume. It's not like those gym era trainer cards or even the Team Plasma cards where it's owned by them. It's just in the picture. So slightly less cool to me than having it be Erica's Vileplume, but still sort of throw back to this earlier era that I just love. And the picture on this is just so striking to me. So the other cards are also the trainer-owned Pokemon I got. Again, Reshiram comes back, one of my favorite Pokemon, along with Zekrom, who I like probably equally. And this one has N in it. And again, so it's not N's Pokemon, but it has both of them. This one I also, this one and the next one, which I'll hold up side by side with it, the Lunala and Solgaleo. I got really good deals. I got for less than $15. Both of these were on eBay, so I happened to get a better deal on eBay than on TCG Player. Again, no clear rhyme or reason to it, in my opinion, of which one's cheaper. You just have to check both. There are certain cards that are going for way more on eBay than a TCG Player, and some cards where that's the complete opposite. Who knows why, but as long as you do your diligence and check, right, you can get a good deal. And in a lot of these cases, I just look for auctions that are going unnoticed, that have zero bids and bid at the last second, or if they have make an offer enabled, I offer, slightly lower than what they're asking. Just say, hey, if you want to make a quick sale, not wait 7 days for the auction to end, I'm willing to pay right now. And I don't know, about 50% of the time, people in my experience will say yes. So I love both these. Solgaleo and Lunala, don't love those Pokemon, but this card just looks so cool to me. I'll put those back in their outer sleeves. So last Pokemon purchase I wanted to show here is a set of cards that I bought complete on eBay, and these are all of the secret rares from Cosmic Eclipse that had trainers in the background. So this Ash's Pikachu is sort of the most iconic and desirable one to me. I will set that aside to talk about in a minute, and I will thumb through these other ones. I'm not going to bother taking them out of outer sleeve while I talk about them. So again, Cosmic Eclipse passed me by. I realized way too late that these cards were in them, and I just love them. Trainers with Pokemon. These are the full arts that aren't textured, right? And obviously not GX and all that. So I like the textures better, but these cards are just so cool to me also because of the trainers in the background. I bought a full set of them. So I actually futzed around for a while on TCG Player, seeing if I could get a better deal. Each of these honestly you get for somewhere between $2 to $4 before shipping. But then shipping adds up, so you have to consolidate with different sellers and see. Anyway, I spent a long time, couldn't really get it to go under $50. I made someone an offer on this. I went back and forth with them on eBay and got it for like $54. So pretty close and just easier than getting a million different envelopes. And my experience with TCG Player too. Sometimes cards are not in the condition they're described. I've gotten a lot of supposed near mint cards that are definitely not near mint. And, I do ask the seller either for a partial refund or I send it back and return it and buy another one. And it's a pain in the butt, especially for low value cards. To me, it's worth it because, I'm buying the cards because I like them and I want to have a good condition version for my binder. But I don't have that problem as much on eBay, partially because obviously on eBay you can see the pictures, which you can only do sometimes on tcgplayer.com. But also I think partially just because, in my experience, at least for more modern cards, people have described them more accurately on eBay. May not be the case for everyone. But out of all these, I will say my favorite one is this Piplup. I don't know who this trainer is. I'm not up to date on the newest trainers. Lieutenant Surge is the only trainer here I recognize, besides for, I think, Steven. Where is Steven? Or Wally, sorry, Wally, not Steven with the Gallade. But I love that Piplup, and I love this coughing too, just such a different art style in the background. But that Piplup is the first one I saw from this whole series and wanted to get it. So, last one, and the star of the show here is this Pikachu, which is by far more expensive. I mentioned all the other ones you can get for like $2 to $4 if you look carefully. This one, I couldn't get for less than $20, which I still think is just insanely underpriced for a card this cool, right? The only other Ash's Pikachu that I know of is those different versions of cards named Ash's Pikachu they made for one of the most recent movies. I think it was a couple of years ago, and they're different art versions of it. I don't love that card, honestly. Maybe it is going to be iconic at some point in the future, but there's so many different versions. It came with the movie. It's not, doesn't have Ash in the picture. This is a picture of Ash and his Pikachu. I can't believe it took Pokemon how many years? 24, 25 years to make this card. And now that it's made, right, I think it just looks absolutely beautiful. Brings back, obviously, so many memories of the TV show. And I can't believe these are going for only $20. So if I were sort of had this short-term investor flipper mindset, I might buy a million of these and try to, flip them in maybe a year or two's time, because I do think they will go up. But not really looking to do that. I just wanted to own this card, wanted to buy it while it's still as cheap as I think it'll ever be, and complete the set of all 12. So I got them all from one person for $54. I'm going to put them all on one page in my binder, which is one of those zip folios that has rows of 4, so you can fit 12 cards in one page. I think they'll look really nice. Before we open the packs, maybe this is a bonus, I can share a couple of Magic the Gathering purchases I made. I mentioned in another video, I'm not a collector of Magic, but I am a little bit, right? There's certain cards I really like and I want to collect. And so recently, there's a set that came out, Double Masters. There's a whole, history and controversy and all kinds of things to say about Double Masters. But what I really wanted to do was show some of these cards that I got. They had premium versions of some Double Masters cards that are full art. And some of those full art cards, or all of them, had foil versions too. And those foil versions you could only get as in these VIP packs, right? You couldn't get them in the boxes, right? The non-foil versions of the borderless cards, the full arts, were box toppers if you bought a booster box. But those VIP packs, right, which in my opinion were very overpriced and sort of overrated. They're the only way to get the foil borderless cards. So these cards are so unique to me, right? There's so few ways to get them. Like once they stop making or once people stop buying those VIP packs for $100 each, you won't be able to get these anymore. I've seen the prices, go down a little bit since I bought these, not that much. At the time, this Avacyn was going for about $100. I managed to get a deal on eBay and get it for $75. It's probably worth, somewhere around $80 or $90 right now. But again, not looking to flip, not looking to invest, just I love Avacyn as a character. The original version that came out is one of my favorites. I can show that sometime. But this full art foil version just looks incredible to me. So I got 2 more of these. Again, very expensive compared to what I spent on Pokemon and more than I like to spend on cards that are just, for me, going to look nice in a binder. But in this case, I thought it was worth it. When I first saw these, my jaw kind of dropped, and they do look even better in person. So another foil borderless card of Sword and Fire and Ice. This is one of my favorite cards as a kid. Funny story, I actually traded it. I made a trade with a friend, long distance. This was when we were kids. And the cards I sent him got to him safely. The cards he sent to me got somehow tampered with in the mail. It came to me in a package with a seal from USPS. It was like this package was tampered with, and all the rares he had sent me as part of the trade were gone. And my mom felt so bad for me that she took me to a store and we bought a couple of packs, and I got Sword of Fire and Ice from the original set. It came in Dark Steel. I did end up selling it, this was years later, when I sold my Magic collection, and that's what caused me to get back into Magic, ironically, and I started collecting, or at least playing again. So I haven't owned a Sword of Fire and Ice since then. This card represents a lot, that memory to me. It's not the same version, but this version I think just looks incredible, right? Taking a literal interpretation of it and seeing fire melting off the sword and ice freezing in that night encased in both of them. So speaking of swords, this last one I got is another full art, foil of the sword, and this one looks even cooler to me than the Sword of Fire and Ice. It's not worth as much because it's not quite as playable in sort of tournament grade decks, but I think the art is just unbelievable. All right, so if you don't like Magic, we're done with that. Last thing I have here are these two packs, which I figure I will open up. So the Sword and Shield base set isn't super exciting to me. There's not, a ton of cards that I like in it. And again, just goes back to thinking, even if there were cards I like, they would probably mostly be full arts and secret rares, at the very least ultra rares, EXs, and so the chance of getting in one of those is just so small, it makes opening packs like whatever. But I still find it very fun, obviously. And the rare is a Cinderace Hollow. So this is the new fully evolved form of a starter. Does look cool. I like that one. And I'm going to try to do this thing with the code where I cover the QR so the computer can't steal it, the bots, but you can still see the full code. There you go. And second pack. I think as far as I know, the most valuable card here is the gold Zacian V. Zacian. I still don't know how to pronounce it. And we got a non-holo rare, Mudsdale. Well, thank you for watching. Curious to know what you think of these purchases. If you agree with me on sort of how undervalued some of these cards are right now. If you've bought something similar, feel free to share. And at some point in the future, I might be making more of these. But I will share sort of at the end all these cards spread out. These are the Magic ones. These are all the secret rares from Cosmic Eclipse. And these are all the other full arts that I got. Hope you all have a great day.